All right, so here we got a Spaceballs. The problem with this one is we have the wrench that's no longer working. It's giving us an error 20, and we have balls stuck in that section right there. So there's lots of things going on with this game. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to fix that wrench. So we're going to need to remove the glass. So if you have the suction cup thingies, whatever they're called, that they sent you with this game, grab them. We've had this game for quite some time, so I'm not sure if they're even setting these with the games anymore. But if you have them, great. If you don't, get some because they're going to help. Anyways, we're going to remove the top panel up there. We're going to remove these little plastic pieces right here. And with some help, we're going to remove the glass and get to everything. And then we can remove the motor from the from the wrench, and then replace it. So let's go ahead and get some help and remove the front glass. All right, so now that you have the glass off and somewhere safe, you can now work on the wrench and even the soda bottle if you need it. Fortunately for us, I am going to replace both this motor and I'm going to replace this motor because this motor is starting to seem like it's going bad itself, and I don't want to have to reopen this game at a later time, so I'm going to replace them both to have it open. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this screw right here, which will allow me to remove the wrench. Same thing with the soda bottle. If I can get it to turn, no, I should be able to turn. There is a screw on that side. Same thing, just take that screw out and slide that out, and then we'll go behind the game and remove the screws, and then the motor should just kind of like pull right out, and then we'll just swap it out. So let's go ahead and remove the wrenches and the wrench and the soda bottle. All right, so we have removed the wrench and the soda bottle. So now what's left is to go ahead and unplug the motors, plug the power, and then we'll just remove it. There's 2 screws at the top, 2 screws in the bottom. Same thing over here, same thing in there. We're just going to remove that motor, and then replace them. So let's go ahead and take that apart. Okay, so you have the motor out. It is right here. This thing is, man, it's really all loose and just kind of bad. So next to do is to remove these screws. So this is now loose. The actual rolling shaft here is loose, and then we have to stick a screwdriver in through these little holes to get to those in order to remove the motor from this actual plate. It's sort of a pain in the ass, not the greatest design, but it works. I'm not even going to tell you what I have to do to get to that one over there, but because I don't remember. So let me figure it out. I think I removed the bearing or something like that to get to that screw right there. So let me go ahead and start working on it, and I'll let you know what I did to get to that one. Okay, so I removed the little screws that house that, that hold this onto the motor shaft. I also removed this little seat clip that goes right there. You can see the little groove right there. That allows me to remove this whole shaft from the actual motor here. Once I do that, it allows me to stick a screwdriver through this hole to access that one screw that's really close. And then that's it. So I use the other holes to get to the screws, those 2 screws, and then I use this hole to get to that screw. That's the only way I could think of. Unless you use like a small little right angle screwdriver bit, something like that, that'll probably do it too. But remove the shaft, it'll be just as easy like that. So let's remove the old motor, put the new motor on, and get it all back together and get the other one done and get this game back up and running before we get too busy. Okay, so the new motor is on, everything is nice and tight, and I was able to actually pop the bearing out. That's actually, I kind of forgot that you could do that. It's been a while since I've actually replaced these motors. It just pops right out. You just kind of push it back into place, and that's it. And then to get it out, you just kind of push it back the other way, and then it's free. So there you go. That'll actually give you even more access to that one little screw right there, because you want to make sure these are nice and tight. All right, so we're done with this motor. Let's finish putting on the bearing back in, and then put the shaft and everything back together, and then install it back into the game, and then we can do the other one. So let's get this done. Okay, so I ran into one small issue. I finished installing the motors. Both of them are installed and completely ready to be put into the game and ready for use. But as I was doing my little testing, I noticed that this one, I'm not sure if you can hear that, it's got a real weird crunchy sound to it. So what I decided to do was I just plugged it into the power, turned it on to make sure that the motors are working. Now these are brand new, they just got here like yesterday or the day before. So I turned it on, and lo and behold, this one right here doesn't work at all. I plug in the other one and it turns, it spins nicely and it works. So that's telling me that they sent me one bad motor. Luckily for me, when I ordered these, I ordered an extra one, so I have to take that one back apart again and plug this motor in. Yes, I already tested this motor. I plugged it into there, which is something I probably should have done in the first place. Test the motors to make sure that they work, but under the assumption that I ordered them brand new, I would think that they would all work. So now I got to call Jet Jennison back and let them know that one of the motors they sent was bad. So let me replace this motor again, and we'll try to put everything back together and get the game back up and running. So let me take care of that. All right, so the new one is in. I'm not sure if you can hear this. If you didn't hear it, it's sort of like a quiet wind. That's what you kind of want to hear, and it was very, very tight to get it to turn. The other one, I could turn it, and instead of a winding sound, I heard a more of a crunchy, grinding type sound, so that's not what you want. So, all right, so let's just go ahead and slap these bad boys back into the game, put the bottle and the wrench back on, turn it on, make sure that everything is good to go, and then if there's no more errors, let's put the glass back on. So let's slap these in. All right, the motors are in, they're connected, they're plugged in. I'm gonna turn them on to make sure that they start spinning, but I just kind of wanted to point out the difference in the motors. Now this is, like I said, this is an original. We've had this particular Spaceballs for about, oh man, 8 years or so. So I'm sure they've probably updated the game since then. Although I did have to put a new motherboard and update that. I didn't get a video of that. I'll see if I can redo the video one day, but I'm not gonna worry about that. So going to the motors, this is the old motor. It's got this extra board back here, controller board, I guess. Now they have these motors that don't have that board on the back. They just kind of plug in. So if you had these old type boards and you get new motors and they look like this, it's okay. You know, it's what they do. They upgrade motors all the time. So let's turn it on and make sure that they work. All right, so the soda bottle's on, and so is the wrench. Much better. That wiggle that you see is more of just that kind of like the little play that the shaft has versus before. It was like really, I could almost turn it. But they're good to go. They're nice and tight. Let's turn the game on, put the glass on, because I know it's working because I already had tested it once. But just to show you, let's turn it on. That's already pulled out, and hopefully they start turning just like they did. So there we go. They're good to go. We're going to put the glass back on and let the game play. All right, well, let's put the glass on. All right, so the game is good to go. Both motors are spinning. They worked well. I already tested the game. The game is working fine. The error is gone. Probably because we had all these balls in there kind of piled up and the game didn't know where they were. That's it. From here on, just let the game roll and connect your card reader and let the game play. All right, well, hey, thanks for watching. I hope this helps.